Hey everybody, Beebs here, and tonight what we're going to be talking about is patch 2.1.0, what I'm excited about, things that you might need to know or might not know right now, and just going to talk a little bit about what I'm doing to prepare for it. So the biggest thing for me in patch 2.1, and I think it's for everybody, is they're going to have a new thing called Greater Rifts. Now these Greater Rifts, how they're going to work, if you don't know, is that you're going to go ahead and in normal rifts, you have an opportunity, or the Rift Guardian randomly spawns a Greater Rift key. Instead of using a Rift fragment to get into the Rift, you then use the Greater Rift key, and what happens is each time you go ahead and level up, or each time you finish a Rift, a Greater Rift, in the time that, I thought I had 5, in the time that hold on, in the time that is allotted, which I think is, if I've heard right, is 15 minutes. If you can do it in 15 minutes or less, you'll get another greater key for a higher level. Now, from what I've heard, the levels go up to, I don't think they're infinite. I think they go up to about 50. But I know that I don't think anybody's really made it past like 35 or maybe even 40. And what you do is you keep doing that over and over again until finally you don't complete a rift in the allotted time. Now, when you kill the Rift Guardian, and this is important for people who don't know about this, when you kill that Rift Guardian at your last rift, which will happen when you don't finish it in time, but you still get to complete the rift, an NPC will spawn right next to where the Rift Guardian was killed. What that NPC does is he allows you to upgrade your legendary gems, which is the next thing I'm going to talk about. Legendary gems. So legendary gems are new gems that are only allowed to go in your jewelry, so only in your rings and your amulet. So what I'm sure a lot of people are going to have to do, including me, is go find new jewelry that has sockets, because nothing that I have I keep a socket in. I usually roll the socket out for a critical hit chance or something if it didn't roll. So these things have all kinds of wackadoo things that they do. Like some of them are damage buffs. I forget what I saw. I saw one that deals thorns damage or something. I mean, there's just going to be a whole bunch of them. I don't think a list has been posted about them yet because I haven't seen it. But what they have is they all have a secondary on them, these gems. And when you upgrade the gems, which you can upgrade them to level 50, when you get up to that level 50, you unlock the secondary. So for the one that I saw, you get a 1% damage boost for every enemy that you kill, and it can stack up to 20 times, and each time you get a new kill, it refreshes the stack. So say you get 20 kills, and then you get like probably 5 seconds or 10 seconds to get another kill before that 20 runs out. If you get a kill within that 10 seconds, it rebuffs to 20, and it only goes down to 19 when it goes down, so you don't lose your whole stack. So that one looks crazy, but the way that you upgrade the gems is that after that last rift is completed, where you don't finish in time, you upgrade them with that NPC, and the farther that you make it in the greater rifts, the higher the levels, the higher percentage chance you have to upgrade that gem. Now the next thing that I'm really excited for and I really want to talk about is the fact that monks are getting a huge buff, and it's a two-parter. One of them is with the exploding palm. Oh shit! I just died from frozen. One of them is with the exploding palm skill, and what they're doing with that is they're making it to where there's a rune in which, when you kill an enemy with exploding palm, it has a 50% chance to explode, dealing 50% of its health to the enemies around it. Now what that means is that if you're playing in these greater rifts and you're getting to the higher levels, it scales, because if the monster has, say, 1 billion health, you're going to be dealing 500 million health to all of the enemies around it. And that's just going to be huge. And already there's a ZDPS build which uses a specific weapon. I think it's called the Furnace. There's a build called the ZDPS build where people are already finding out that these monks, these builds, when they get that skill and they're using it properly, that they're just face rolling every other. I mean, they're doing way better than every other class, because I mean that skill just scales beautifully. I mean, imagine if you had a skill that as like that one, whereas the monster's health goes up, so does your damage potential. I mean, it's perfect. one of the other big things, which me personally, I'm not that excited for. I already have 5 level 70 characters, so this really doesn't do much for me. Is they're adding seasons, which last for, they're saying, anywhere from a month to 3 months. And in these seasons, what's going to happen is each time a new season comes up, there's going to be new loot tables. So your season characters during the season, you can't use them or your loot to level up like your general level. But at the end of the season, your loot and that character rolls over into the normal game. So basically, they're adding extra loot, which I'm assuming is going to be it's going to be another great buff to your damage potential and to your survivability potential. And the advantage of actually doing these is that you get that loot before people who don't do them get it, because what happens is when that rolls over, that loot doesn't roll over into the normal drop table until after that season is over. So you have to wait if you don't do seasons, which I probably won't. I might try ladders just to fuck around a couple times. And after that, you're able to get that loot in the regular game. So the advantage to doing that would be, if you have a Crusader, if you wanted to play a Crusader, you've got to level them to 70, and then you've got to gear them. But the gear that you get will transfer over. So you'll get a jump ahead of the game of everybody else who isn't doing these. And along with those ladders come special achievements, and there's leaderboards, so you can beat all your friends and show off and be like, hey man, I did this the fastest, or I did that the best, or whatever. So besides legend, I'm trying to think of other stuff. Legendary gems, monk buff. Oh, they're changing healing. They're trying to make it so that healing actually I'm getting a lot of conduits. This is nice. So that healing actually scales much better. I don't know if I like what they're doing, but I'll explain it right now. What they're doing is they're nerfing health globes. So from what I've heard, they're making health globes spawn 50% health, so they'll regenerate 50% less of what they do now. But what they're doing is they're buffing the health regen stat, and they're buffing armor. Now, the armor is interesting because everybody knows, or at least people who play enough know, that armor is one of the most useless stats you can have. I mean, you're going to get base from your gear, but it really doesn't do anything. It just blocks a percentage of the damage done by physical attacks, or melee attacks rather. So if the armor buff is actually good, we could potentially be gaining, for people like me who have enough survivability but don't really have enough to comfortably play T6. I can play T6, but it takes a little while. I'm on T4 now. For people like us, it could make it a much more sorry, I'm fumbling in my words. I just got back from work and I'm tired. Makes it a much easier game for surviving at higher levels. Now, what I think they should have done, and what I really don't understand why they got rid of it, is I think they should have brought back, instead of making regen better, I think they should have brought back Lifesteal. Which, for people who just started with Reaper of Souls and don't know about Lifesteal, it was something that could roll on gear that, for your damage dealt, so say my DPS is something like, so right now it says I'm 1.43, but I'm much more like, I probably deal like 25 million a second, assuming I'm shooting these things out constantly. So every second you would be replenishing 3% of 25 million to your life bar. I think instead of regen, they should have brought that back. I think I would have been a lot more happier about that, and I think a lot of vanilla Diablo fans, people who played it pre-Reaper of Souls and played it extensively, might have been more happy to see that come back. But I'm intrigued to see what they do, and how it works out. And you're probably wondering, I'm talking about patch 2.1, but I'm not playing it. I'm not playing the PTR in the video. I'm not one of those people that likes to play PTRs just to see what's going on. And that's mainly because none of the gear, nothing that you get in there is transferable, except I think they might let you keep your level for leveling up. So not positive on that, but I don't even think that's a thing. I couldn't do that. I couldn't play for however long they're going to have it, for a month, get way better gear, get legendary gems, and be doing way more damage, and then lose it all when they get rid of the PTR and possibly before the patch even comes out. I couldn't do it, so I didn't download it. What else did I say I want to talk about? Oh, so basically I just wanted to show you guys. I've done a video, in case you didn't see it, I've done a video on this build that I'm using for Crusader, which is the Crusader build, and it's basically Fist of the Heavens is what you use, which you're seeing me use a lot. I just wanted to just briefly show the demo of what this looks like and how you're supposed to do it. Currently, I don't quite have enough cooldown reduction to have Accurats up permanently, but I think I checked it a couple times, and I only have Accurats down for about 5 seconds every minute. So it's really not that bad. Where the hell do I need to go? Oh, shit, down here. But just to talk about where I'm hopefully going with this channel in the future, and where I want to go for streaming, and to kind of see if I can get into this gaming, this PC gaming world, and this world of being able to make money off of playing games. So I've got 1 more year of college left. I'm going to be a senior. I go to Northwestern University, which is in Illinois, for those of you who don't know. And I want to give this a serious shot to try to see if I can make real money off of this. Because, I mean, you see streamers and people just do this for a living. And I mean, for people who play video games, I really don't think anybody would argue that there isn't a cooler job out there to do, except for maybe like diving with sharks or something like that. I don't know. I just pulled something out of my ass. I really want to try to make this work. So pretty soon, I might try to stream within the next week, but my connection at home isn't stable. It's not bad. We have Comcast. We get about 100 megabyte per second download and 20 upload, but it's not stable. So like sometimes I'll get kicked from Diablo because my connection wavers a lot. So when I get back to school, I'll be on a stable connection and I'll be able to do that. So I want to be able to stream more. I want to see if I can make some money off of this. I've already thinking of all kinds of crazy things, like if I start streaming and if I build up a decent fan base, Fanfare Friday, which is like for subscribers, or even if I don't have any subscribers, just people watching the stream, power leveling characters for you, shared loot, to where anything that I get with like my Crusader, for instance, who's fully geared, or my Barb, I just go ahead and give you guys that loot. I mean, I just really want to give it a good shot. So if you're watching this video and if you're enjoying what I'm talking about, I know that I'm running out of steam towards the end. It is almost midnight here, and not that that's late, but I did work from 7 to 11 tonight. But it's just something that I want to be able to do, and I think that most people who watch streamers and play these games would really love to be able to make a living doing it. I actually grew up in the hometown of Nadeshot, if you watch the competitive COD scene, and I've talked to him at events and stuff that I've gone to locally, and it's just pretty cool that he's able to do that, and he earns. People say that he earns 6 figures. I don't know if that's true. He probably does, but just that he's able to make a living off of it, pay rent, pay the bills, and everything. It's just, you gotta be shitting me, really. It's just really cool. And I'd like to be able to get into this game if possible. This is my water jug from work. Sorry, stay alive. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you didn't like something about it, or if you don't like the way that I talk, or if I kind of ramble on, leave a comment, let me know. Subscribe if you're feeling nice. And I hope you all have a good night. I'll be back tomorrow with another video on my monk, which I'm currently leveling. So have a good night.